in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what, I'ma stay black. It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. Need more jewelry. What I tell myself as I'm writing my eulogy. Ask the mirror, how you put up with this foolery? It reply, how you put up with this song and dance, soulless buffoonery. Long romance, death, what it do to me? Yamagini dream was a nightmare. He was dancing with the devil for his life, yeah. We all on the dance floor. Girl, come with a dance. Puerto Rican in the breathing heavy. Little am I looking daddy. Couldn't tell him nothing cause we lost him already. Cozy boy with his spaghetti. What the money and fame, the price come heavy. The price come heavy. Like Shaq attack up on a backboard. Got me back up on a backboard. When she asked me if I love her, I just act bored. Say loser.
Hello again, everybody. It is the...
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Green Bay Packers and the Carolina Panthers. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. Big hold of the 30. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. The 20. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there. 85 yards. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. The first play from scrimmage. Some of these people haven't even taken their seat.
That's what is commonly known as a fast start. That's what my horse racing friends would say. They caught a flyer out of the gate, and guess what? They're in the lead now.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Gano out to kick this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And he's got some space here.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. First down, Rodgers. And that is incomplete here.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond, as you just noted.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9.
And, Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. Introduced himself with authority on that play.
Now Rodgers. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. And I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
McCaffrey following the penalty. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. It's a gain of 3, and it sets him up with 2nd and just 2 yards to go.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he gets it to punches complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to run now. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. And he's got his target. That's more. Past the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press it. Quickly after the catch.
To throw on second down is Newton. Escaping the pressure right. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Newton. And that's going to be caught by Funchess for a Carolina touchdown. Devin Funchess, his first touchdown on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
And that drive we just saw that culminated in a touchdown, exactly what many offenses are looking for. Sustained ones that can impose their will on the other team.
Gano the extra point, and that'll make this a 6-point game. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw, it's Rodgers. A dump underneath to Jones. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They've got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
To throw is Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. And the move from Mike McCarthy is going to be to keep the offense on the field here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. Out left side here to Bryant. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. Boy, that's some kind of effort. When he caught it, I doubted if he could get there. Knew it was going to be close, but credit him. Really good effort.
How about the rack on that play, the run after catch? But most of the time we think of it as just being an open field and picking up yardage. Sometimes you have to be real physical in order to gain the yardage you need for a first down. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
Over the middle, complete. That's Adams. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Here's Rodgers to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now it's Rodgers. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Akeem Talib.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jamie Collins coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. From the gun, here's Newton. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. The Panthers on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. The shotgun snap for Newton. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. And this will be called officially a 66-yard attempt. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And that'll make it third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Rodgers going to throw. Looking deep for Adams, and he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. And that is going to be incomplete. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And the Panthers will get the football back. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Newton going to hand it on to McCaffrey, and he stopped immediately there. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
He
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Well, we'll see what his offense can do. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Throwing is Rodgers. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. It's caught here by Adams. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to it.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Now Rodgers. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Here's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. Oh, the Panthers come hard and they block it. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live. Now, so much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
And however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
Now Newton on first down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Second and 10, Newton again. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Got his target, Samuel. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. In for the score. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And that'll give them a two-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here. And
he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that.
This is caught inside the 15. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Rodgers again now. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers are back within a score.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go to the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. And an alley to run. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they will start out in great shape up very close to midfield. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Set. What is it? Look at it.
Operating from the gun. Newton Funches with a catch over the middle. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. So it's halftime. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Gano out to kick this one away. Fairly short kick taken at the 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Shotgun now for Rodgers.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Rodgers now to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Dontari Poe in there again as this offensive line is in tatters. 3 sacks in 3 plays. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, Let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I think when they get back in the huddle, the question will be, why did you throw that one? The coverage was incredible all over him. The only thing he didn't do after he caught the ball as a defender was get his feet in bounds. That should have been a turnover.
The Panthers on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Newton. Now he's got his target. That's Moore. And he's got this down to the 35. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Here's Newton now on second down. And his throw is incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
To throw on third down, Newton. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Nick Perry in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. 20. Touchdown, Packers. As his guys are in for 6, and the Packers have cut it back within a score.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
Now Mike McCarthy saying, let's go for 2. They're going to run for it with Jones. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. From the gun, Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big 3rd down play there for the Panthers. 41 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Again, Newton. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Perry in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
3rd and long, it's Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Now Graham Gano to try the Panther field goal. This will be from 49 yards out. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive, capture the field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 38. Working from the gun. Rodgers got his man complete over the middle. That's James. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. To throw is Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. And quickly they get to the line. Flag comes in. This might be a free play.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offside's easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
So it's still 1st and goal, but now they get to try from a bit closer. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Drops it to Jones in the flash. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at it.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Packers are an extra point away from taking the lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Forbath, the extra point. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
It'll be a gain of 4. And it's a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
On first down, Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey, and he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, They just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Newton will bring him up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Newton throwing again. That is incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And McDonald here over the middle. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
He has just not had his focus in this game. It's not 1 drop. It's not 2. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. And Godot's kick is right through. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll try and run for it with Jones. Yeah, great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least least get them inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
And his kick is indeed good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds, pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
Short kick. One of the up men will take it down. Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us, because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So for Green Bay, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get another road date next.
Hey, I ain't folding under pressure. I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros.